Israeli military tanks have reportedly reached the heart of Gaza's Rafah city just days after its deadly attack on a camp housing displaced Palestinians, which killed at least 45 people. China is among the latest countries that are calling on Israel to stop its attacks on Rafah. Beijing has expressed grave concern over Tel Aviv's offensive and urged Israel to listen to the appeals of the international community. Meanwhile, the UK stressed that Israel must investigate the Rafah camp strike in a comprehensive and transparent manner. Israel's main ally, the US, again pushed Tel Aviv to take all measures to prevent civilian casualties. The UN Security Council is due to discuss the incident at an emergency meeting today. Israel's ground operation in Rafah has sent Palestinians fleeing what was once Gaza's only safe zone. The UN's Palestinian Refugee Agency, UNRWA, says around 1 million people have fled in the past 3 weeks. The aid group also says there is nowhere safe to go amid bombardments, and helping those who are displaced has become nearly impossible.
ما احنا عارفين وين بدنا نروح. صحينا على 6 الصبح، صار 5:30 من القذايف والصواريخ، وين متمرمطين رايحين الله اعلم في حالنا وفي وضعنا، ولا معنا خيم ولا معنا حاجه، ومعنا اطفال، ولسه في كمان نقله والدي وعمتي وحماتي لسه ما زال تحت القصف، ولا راح اجيبهم، ولا في مواصلات، ولا في اي حاجه كمان مبادر الحياه. هذا اللي صحينا عليه من 5:30 الصبح. شكرا اخوي، باي مطلع.
And for more, Sarah Coates joins us live from Tel Aviv. Sarah, we're hearing reports of tanks advancing into the heart of Rafah city as more Palestinians, they flee that area, which is already seen as the last place of refuge. What is the situation on the ground?
Hello there, Glenda. There is terror and there is fear, as you mentioned. People are fleeing for their lives, especially in the wake of this horrific attack on Sunday, which saw some 45 people killed in a strike in an area that Palestinians say that they were not asked to evacuate from. Now, the IDF has also given an operational update saying it's deployed an additional brigade to this southern Rafah area. And this is an area that the Israeli military claims the remaining 4 Hamas battalions are stationed, and potentially some of these Israeli hostages. Now, it also says that over the past day or so, it's found weapons and tunnels. But it is very important to point out that there is heavy fighting also continuing in the north of the Strip. Now, the armed wing of Palestinian Islamic Jihad has just come out to claim that it has engaged in heavy battle with Israeli troops and has bombed a number of Israeli soldiers, also saying that it's shot down an Israeli quadcopter just near Jabalia refugee camp in the north of the Strip. But you said it there. There is just so much concern for these people on the ground. And like we've been hearing from aid groups, including from the UN's Palestinian Refugee Agency, UNRWA, no one is safe, no place is safe, with that organisation saying that right now Gaza is like a living hell.
Well, we're hearing Spain, Norway and Ireland. Now, they've announced a formal recognition of the state of Palestine. How will that affect international pressure on Israel's offensive in Gaza then?
Well, before this incident on Sunday, many people would have said it wouldn't really have much of an effect at all. But now this really does change things. What it could do is put more pressure on their allies to take a firmer stance against what is actually happening right now in Gaza. And it also raises questions about complicity, given that some of these EU member states provide military assistance to Israel. Now, we also need to remember that the EU foreign ministers, they actually held a meeting and they're speaking about potentially slapping sanctions on Israel. So really, what we're seeing here is Israel becoming very, very isolated with its world standing really going down. Now, in terms of Israeli reaction to the recognition by these 3 countries, it's around 3 p.m. here now, local time. Still no official reaction from any Israelis. Radio silence, really. But when they did make this announcement, there was absolute fury. We do need to remember that the Foreign Ministry recalled these diplomats from those countries, also summoning the ambassadors for a meeting with the Foreign Minister, Israel Katz, saying that this is basically being complicit in genocide against Jews and war crimes. And really, the main message that we've been hearing from the Israelis since this announcement is that this recognition is just a reward for terrorism.
Well, thanks for that update, Sarah Coates in Tel Aviv.